Being in the Outer Rim, they were exposed to countless petty crime lords. But if the crime lord actually had some firepower behind them, the Night Mother would have to strike a deal. Something similar happened before when a young Darth Sidious approached her, with promises of them working together to share their secrets in their respective dark arts. Maul was given to the Dark Lord as a gift, a show of goodwill between them, but their relationship quickly soured, and she would forever hold a grudge against the Sith. And now, when the powerful Sinatine pirate Hal'Sted came to make his deal, it was the infant Ventress that was given up. With a heavy heart, her biological mother complied with their clan mother. We will see this theme pop up again later in our story, but be on the lookout for how all are subjugated to the will of the Night Mother. Though she often speaks in terms of sisterhood, everything we see her do is to serve her own goals, to ensure the power of her coven. Ventress was taken to the western reaches of the Outer Rim, to the planet Rattatak. Despite her fear and confusion, she grew fond of Hal'Sted due to what appeared to be true fatherly affection for this adoptive daughter. Yet behind this facade, his focus was always on molding her into a potent weapon, knowing a feared Night Sister would ensure his petty kingdom never failed. The planet Rattatak was perpetually plagued by relentless assaults from marauding Weequay pirates. As a young girl of just 6 in 44 BBY, Ventress was hit by another tragic loss. During this latest battle, Hal'Sted, the only protector she could remember, was abruptly killed, leaving her defenseless amidst the chaos. As she knelt beside her adoptive father's lifeless form, grief enveloping her, a new figure emerged, Ky Narec, a Jedi Knight who found himself marooned on this war-torn world. Narec was determined to put an end to the ravaging pirate factions, a personal war that put him at odds with his superiors in the Jedi Order, and in this way his character is a lot like Qui-Gon Jinn. When a Weequay pirate lunged at Narec, instinctively a surge of raw, untamed force power emanated from Ventress, hurling the attacker away with such ferocity that he sailed over multiple buildings. Recognizing the immense potential in this young girl, Narec offered to take her on as his Jedi Padawan. Here we see the start of 2 issues in Ventress's psyche. She would later learn that Narec was the one that killed Hal'Sted, the only father she had ever known. It was not some warring pirate out of that mob. And the second issue is that Narec would often express the shortcomings of the Jedi Order. It was always held back by traditions and Republic laws that made it so hard to do what you knew was right. They were so out of touch with the people of the Outer Rim. And this is why Narec chose a specific and tangible lifelong goal of simply saving this one planet, even if no one on Coruscant had even heard of it. His laments are very similar to Qui-Gon Jinn and Dooku, who had been railing against the corruption and incompetence of the Order and the Republic for decades. While Dooku was plotting with Sifo Dyas and the senator from Naboo, the next 2 decades of Ventress's life, up into her late 20s, was spent becoming a beacon of hope for the downtrodden on Rattatak, the only form of law enforcement these people would ever see, using a single green blade just like her master. Living in the light side of the Force, she was at peace at the side of Ky Narec, until one fateful day her world was shattered again, for the 3rd time in her young life. Another one of these countless pirate battles erupted, but this time a sharpshooter finally eliminated this pesky Jedi threat. He took a bolt that could have hit her, and he collapsed into her arms and was dead before she could even lay him down. Instead of being consumed with grief, she was set ablaze with anger. Calling her master's blade to her hand, she would use the Force to leap to the sniper's position and bring death down with a dual blade style for the first time. It is in part because of individuals like Ventress that we see so much confusion by lay people in the galaxy far, far away. Most don't know the difference between Jedi and Sith. People think that they're the same thing, and ironically at a very deep level there is a lot of truth there. But in this case, Ventress became the Banshee of Rattatak, a demon with unstoppable fury, but who wielded not red blades but the bright emerald green sabers of Jedi. To those who got in her way, there was no confusing her with the peace-loving monks of Coruscant. She was alone with nothing but her own ruminating thoughts. But it wasn't long before she was joined by another voice in her head, the whispers of the dark side, reminding her of how the Jedi Order had abandoned Rattatak and thus her master, that this whole galaxy was as ruthless as the Weequay pirates. And did she not notice how powerful she felt when she had slain that sniper? The strength she had when she wielded the Force and let herself feel the anger over all these losses. From her mother to Hal'Sted and Ky. Let their memory be fuel for the righteous flame that burns away the petty tyrants of this world. The following years would see her go on a killing streak, no longer a Jedi Padawan or Knight. Though also not a Sith, this Dark Knight would slaughter most of the crime lords on Rattatak. Many of their underlings offered their loyalty to her, in this underworld driven by survival of the fittest, and she had a multi-continent empire under her command when she finally learned who it was that killed her master. The nefarious Valak warlord Osika Kurske had launched the attack that fateful day, and perhaps playing on how eager she was for revenge, the Valak was able to lead her into a trap. Another immediate, dramatic life change, as just moments later she was hauled off to the gladiatorial pits, with the electric bite of a stun collar ensuring her compliance. It was the year 23 BBY, and the 27-year-old Dathomirian was radiating a dark side aura when Count Dooku arrived. His last 20 years had seen him betray his closest Jedi friends and fully submit himself to the dark side under his master Darth Sidious. Always two there are, one to embody the power and one to crave it. But over the centuries, there always seemed to be secret, hidden apprentices, seen with Tenebrous, Sidious himself, who had an eye on the boy believed to be the Chosen One, and Dooku knew that if he was to adhere to the oldest of Sith traditions and one day kill his master, he would need to find a Force-sensitive adept of his own. Let me just mention, somebody that know the Legend stuff, you might be seeing some visuals that are from Legends material, but that's because what I'm saying is coming from canon details. A lot of the major details, names, stories, and events like that were brought into canon. It's just that maybe not the whole legend story has been brought back, but that's why I felt like the visuals were good to go over what I'm saying. As he watched the fighting, he saw Ventress dominate using the Force alone as her weapon. This was the perfect candidate. To build an alliance with Ventress, he quickly cut down Kurske, freeing her and giving the Dathomiri the chance to join him on the ultimate quest for power. When he shared his history with the Jedi and the coming crusade against the Republic, she immediately saw the similarities to her old master. And as if to prove the superiority of the dark side, the Sith was alive while her master was killed by a lowly thug. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full video here.